is this? Who is this? Another episode where I read old interviews with my old me. Hey all, it's me Lilu and welcome back to this channel. So today is another day where I read a couple of old magazines. I started this series a while ago. Since this, few old customer friends sent me some more magazines with interviews from me in English language. Because there was many in a language I don't understand. I can't read them. I could try to read some Finnish or Italian. Italian would be absolutely awesome to read Italian interview. But anyway, makes no sense. I can't read it. So I gathered together a couple of English-speaking magazines like this one. The Inked Culture and Style Art magazine from January 2015. US, Canada. So it's America, Canada. So let's start here. The Inked magazine, and this was also a little bit something smaller, I think. So it's this, and I don't know why they write another dimension over it when it's the third dimension. When this piece have a full name, and they don't, they write it here very small. He called third dimension, but it's called the third dimension. The third dimension, that's how the piece is called. Yes, I just read it now. Okay, it's only one page, so they spent only one page for this. It's the third dimension because you see, because you guys in the third dimension and you can see the piece, and there's not a up and down in the piece. It's like, oh no, I'm wrong-sided. Okay, let's put all the silly on the side. Silly on the side. Another dimension. Little swastika. An artist's tattoo artist. Okay, now that's little swastika. An artist's tattoo artist continues to advance tattooing to places it has never been. Recently, the German-based creative powerhouse pushed the boundary of tattooing a body by inking this cohesive design across the backs of 10 people. More than just an art project, the endeavor pushed little swastika endurance and legitimately brought people together. Here are excerpts from his journal during the experience that he called Third Dimension. 3 years ago was when I first expanded a tattoo across more than one human body. After I finished my first double back piece, I tried different things to play with two human bodies, working together as a canvas. When a tattoo covers more than one person, the entire session has more depth. In the spirit, fun, pain, and chaos, there is a bounding and a bonding. Normally, those pieces are between twins, two great friends, or a couple. So they already have a connection, and the logistic of getting them into the studio are easier. In 2013, I experienced tattooing 3 people, and then 4 for my love project. But I had the vision to make a tattoo bigger than anyone has ever seen. I think I have the feeling that they kind of write a little bit over my words because it sounds like very, I don't know, than anyone ever has seen. Yeah. But yeah, tattooing multiple peoples together was always a very, very beautiful thing. It was, it's just so different. It's such a different atmosphere you create. It's such a different flow, flair. It's just awesome. Yeah, I don't know. That interview looks like it's absolutely not looks like I was giving that interview, because there was some weirdness in how it's written. It took me a month to figure out how I could position people to paint the design. Because it took me 11 months, and I mentioned that in many interviews about the third dimension. As I already said, logistics are important, and because I needed to have so many people together at the same time, I enlisted friends who I saw to tattoo, Freak Mike and Basti, to color in the black. That way I could tattoo the design, and we didn't need to keep the people twice as long just so I could color in the black. I created a rough sketch that allowed me to put the design on people and then tattoo them solo, as to not risk cross-contamination and long times of waiting while another person was getting tattooed. Okay, that's like okay, that's for sure one of these interviews. I mentioned it before, that there was for sure interviews which I was never give, when they just took some different things together and created an interview out of it. So probably that was from a bigger interview. Let me see, because it looked already. Because here's example. This one I read tomorrow in the Skin Deep from December 2014. And that's January 2015. There was a very big interview. And you see they spent like, I don't know, 10 pages to tell the story. So there was already some interviews out. So yeah, let's keep going. I created a rough sketch that allowed me blah blah blah. After I published a sketch of 8 people sharing the tattoo, I got such a response from willing canvases that I decided to push it to 10 and called Gerhard Wiesbeck from Time Traveling Tattoo to help fill out the last 2. Everybody come from far away. 10 canvases, 4 tattooers and 2 helpers. I planned 80 to 100 hours of tattooing through 4 days. 1 day of painting, 1 day for photography, and 1 more day just in case. The canvases were very easy to work with, as I rotated them around till I liked the way they fit together. Yeah, and I like on my homepage back the days, the very first sentence when you typed in little swastika was, the skin is just a canvas. But I never called customers canvases, and I can, I don't know, usually when I read the old magazine and I feel my words, because I don't know, I feel my words, and here I feel that it's not my words. I can feel it. The canvases were easy to work with. I mean, oh, come on. As I rotated them around until I liked the way they fit together. They knew that they were each getting a back piece, but that I couldn't grant their individual wishes. They accepted that all that mattered would be the end result. If you think about it, just one back piece is only 10% of the art. Even though it may have seemed absurd, they were ready to get one tattoo, be one as a group and take one trip together. Before this endeavor during my love project, I tattooed for 11 hours without taking any real break, and it brought me into this trance state. I wanted to see what the limits of endurance for tattooing would be. And yeah, that's something I will speak many times about. For me, the third dimension was also, it brings me in that different dimension, in the dimension of trying to push my boundaries, not only to push the boundaries of the peoples. And when they all was gathering here, and I mentioned the idea that I don't want to make a break, I want to keep tattooing in the night, that I need some people who come here in the night, everybody was thinking, oh man, this is insane, he's crazy. But on the other hand, there was no that I'm crazy and that they was here for. And so I had straight a few people shaking their hands and like, yeah, I'm here in the night. And I tell them that I want to see how long I can tattoo. I want to see how long it takes me to to really put the machine down and lie on the ground directly here where I was tattooing. I was actually tattooing right there. Right there. This was happened. And I was knowing I will keep going till I have to lie down, till I'm not even able anymore to walk in my bed. And I had this idea many times in my life before. But the thing is, I do know how much skin I can tattoo in what time. And I was knowing that to bring me to the point of trying this out, it will need a lot of skin to bring me to the limit. And yeah, that was my chance. So I was use it. You know, you got a chance like this only once. You want to use that proper. After exactly 23 hours, I finished the last of the outlines. The first back pieces was finished after 24 hours. Yeah, it took me exactly 23 hours to bring all the outlines on it, all the rough outlines, all the red parts of it, and then the pattern behind. I outlined the entire pattern myself. Just to make this clear, the entire pattern I outlined myself. I asked Gerd to help me with the outline, but yeah, they all was like so nervous and like, no, he don't help me. He don't want to fuck something up. So yeah, it was all to me. So in the first 23 hours, I had always two people simultaneously on my lie. So when this one wanted a break, I just had to change the gloves and walk over and take the different machine in the hand. And when this one was done, I tattooed here, and here was my place getting made new. And I had already the next person waiting. So I absolutely had I had no break in the first 23 hours. And yeah, 23 hours, man. And then I took 10-minute breaks. A very radical break. Maybe there was some little DMT trip involved to bring myself into a completely different dimension, in the fourth dimension, to be as far away as I could from all this third dimension thing, because it was a really crazy challenge in my mind. It was not so much only the physical thing. It was also really, and there was a lot of pressure on me. There was a lot of things could go wrong. And there was a lot of people involved, a lot of people who put a lot of trust in me. And I mean, it was 11 months of planning. And after that 23 hours, I was knowing all the outlines are in. It's like everything is safe. Well, everything is not safe, but everything is out of my hands. The only thing what have to be done is fill that stuff, you know. And we basically had a full week time to fill it. And I seen already there was some back pieces almost filled beside, because everybody was like, wow, full in, you know, the full atmosphere was just crazy. And I don't know, it was also a big release after the 23 hours. I was before also not sure if I can throw out that many outlines. And honestly, the last back I done, the outlines was yeah, I mean, we cleaned it out when we filled it, but it was tough. It was really tough. I have to tell you that. It was tough to do all this. It was tough to be in a 11-month state of awkwardness and thinking about one piece, not knowing if that piece will come to reality, if that even works out, you know. But after the first 11 hours, we was already a few days here together for the painting, for everything. I was okay, no, it's out of my hands. It's nothing I can do better anymore. We can just fill it and in a few days puzzle it together and see how it looks. The first back pieces was finished after 24 hours. It became exhausting for all of us. There was a lot of pain, loves, craziness, and loud music. During the night's session, people were dancing and people were crying. Everyone was on a few hours of sleep, but we were doing what we had to do to make this possible. And on the afternoon of the third day, everything faded as we put in the last point of ink. During the process, we didn't want other people there, as it was a special moment between those involved. But we did want to share the art, so we made sure to document it. Actually, we was like not really documented. I honestly have a couple of time lapses from when we painted it. And yeah, we had 2 helpers here. And we was hoping, they can make a few filmings in between. And they couldn't, because we wouldn't have needed 4 helpers. That was the one thing. When I would ever have done a piece like this again, I would have 5 helpers there, because the 2 helpers was like, wow, it was too much for them, So we have like almost documented nothing from this. And there are like 2-3 pictures from while we tattooing. And actually the pictures you see here from the painting from the top, they all because I had like the trends, I had to make pictures in between to like see the piece. And from the paintings there are a few more pictures because there it was only me working, but then there was not much pictures. And then there you see the pictures at the end, so there was not much documentation about it. And there was not people there. There was no one else there than us. When everybody first got naked and I saw one complete piece running over them, I stared at it speechless for a long time. I think that it was an amazing experience for all of us. That's like, come on. That's so written down from someone who not experienced. I think I just in a few other I just was read before. I read here in the Total Tattoo something about that, man, and it made me cry just from how I was explained the emotions I had. And here I think that it was an amazing experience for all of us. That's like it expresses nothing of what this moment was. That I stared at it. We was stand there, man. We was like crying, We was like looking to each other and was like, what is going on here? And like, you have goosebumps, tears in your eyes. That's like, and we don't stare at it long time because the people could not lie there a long time together. It may have been the toughest thing we have ever been through, but we have a beautiful memory of the time. I already have a plan for a bigger piece in my mind, but for right now I have no idea if it is possible. We will see. So that was another dimension. Maybe they called it another dimension because it was not from the third dimension. It was the interview from another dimension, from another little swastika. No, it's not Stan who've written it here. I'm the editor from the Inked Culture Style Art magazine. And I read this interview in a magazine. And usually I remember that time I was only give the interview to magazines who give me enough pages. And some magazine was give me the cover and like 6 pages, 8 pages, 10 pages. Because I was saying I don't give that interview to a magazine who printed on 2 pages. Come on. It's you cannot put that in like half page of words. Like in that little amount of words, what this is, you just can't. It makes no sense. I mean, here they have an interview from this tattooist over 1.5 pages of text. So maybe this was not worth enough. Anyway, I mean, it was only one tattoo, but doesn't matter. I was very specific with who I give interviews with, but many magazines didn't care, so I have many magazines which I was not involved. They just don't ask me for the interview. They made it without me. It's much more simple than to deal with a retard like me. Okay, that's it. Peace out, sneakers. So I don't know. Like, subscribe. I hope you like this series. There are a few very sentimental interviews. You find in this playlist coming up here shortly. And check it out. Check out the merch on our website. Check out the books and the art. I give some workshops about tattooing, about how I create art and stuff. And yeah, a lot of things. You find everything in the description. Check it out. And thanks for watching. Thanks that you survived till the end. And see you the next time.
Coffee in the silent merch. Feeling so comfy in the silent merch.
Merch is hot as hell.
Find the link in the description. Our merch.
And art.
Jewelry and print and art and stuff. We have everything just for you.
Oh yeah, everything for everyone. Your needs will get satisfied. Doesn't matter what you like. Take it off from our shop, baby.